Okay, so challenge number 3 for the Samsung SmartThings. We used the Smart Apps last time in challenge 2. So this time we're just going to show you the routines. So if I choose this icon, you can see that we've got routines. We've got good morning, good night, goodbye and I'm back, all preset. But you can actually create your own. I'm just going to show you a nice simple one that it can be used. And all this is going to do is use the automatic power switch and enable me to be able to turn it on and off at night time. So when I go to bed, it'll turn off once I've gone to bed. When I get up in the morning, it'll turn on once I get up in the morning. And I've got a choice of either activating that or it actually doing it automatically. So here we go. If I choose a new routine, I sit to the icon at the top, add a routine. I can name this, so I'm going to say switch off light. Bedtime. Next. And then what I want it to do is obviously turn off these lights. So because it's connected to the plug, I'm done. As I wander down, I then look further down and it says when do I want that to happen. So automatically perform switch off bedtime, so tap to set this. And I want this to happen basically at a specific time, but I can do it when somebody arrives or when somebody leaves. So I'm going to say time of day, tap to set, and I can set this to turn off probably around about sort of 11 o'clock at night when I go to bed. That's roughly when I go. And I can change that to certain days of the week, but I'm going to leave it every day of the week for now. Say done. And that's it done. So I've now completely finished. We come out and you'll notice it creates a new one at the bottom that says switch off light. At bedtime, I'm then going to do one for the morning. So again, add a routine. This time, switch on light. Morning, done. And this time I'm going to turn the light on, so I choose that one. Again, it's connected to the plug, so done. And automatically perform that. And I normally get up again. It could be when somebody comes in and goes, or certain things happen, or again I could do it triggering a sensor, so I could have a motion sensor in my bedroom when I get up. When I go to bed it can do either of those, but I'm just going to do it with this one to start with, and then I'll show you with the motion sensor instead. So again at a specific time and the time of the day, I get up around about 6:30. Done. Done. And done. And now you see that one appears in here. So what I'm now going to do is just show you those in action. So we'll go through. Now obviously we can simulate it being at the time of the day. So I can also, when I'm going up to bed, decide that I've gone up to bed. And now I'll say I've woken up in the morning, so I activate the switch up in the morning, we'll see the lights come on. Or I could say I'm going back to bed and turn the light off when I go back to bed. So I can do this from the comfort of my bed, but it will also automatically do it in a time sequence as well. So I can switch it on or switch it off. So we're now going to edit those in the next video, and I'll show you how I can do it with a sensor instead to make it a bit more automatic. Okay, so now we're going to edit the two routines that we just created to make them a bit more flashy. So instead of just turning the light on and off at certain times of the day, I'm going to make it a bit more interactive so it reacts to me getting up and coming downstairs or going upstairs to bed. So I've placed a motion sensor on the stairs, and now we're just going to edit those two programs. So just in case I forget the motion sensor doesn't pick it up, it'll still do that at a certain time of the day, but in addition we're going to get to turn off when I do go to bed. So in this instance we've got the switch off light routine, so it's switching that off. If we go back down to the bottom, automatic form, and we're just going to edit this bit to now also say when things start happening. So again it's going to say which sensor am I wanting to trigger, and I've moved the motion sensor I div have in the lounge and I put that on the stairs now, so I can say done. The important thing is to look at the start and end time, because this is obviously when I'm going to bed. I need to make sure it's the rough sort of time I'm going to be going to bed, otherwise that motion sensor is going to be detecting me going up or down the stairs in the morning and trying to turn it on and off. So I'm just going to set the times when I'm going up and down the stairs. So in terms of the start window, we're going to suggest that that's probably around about 9 o'clock at night. Select that, and then the end time we're going to suggest is obviously that 2300 hours when it was going to turn off anyway. So in fact I'll set it to 22:59 because after that it's going to turn itself off. Again, we can choose certain days of the week, but I'm happy with that, so I can say done and done again. Okay, and we're going to edit the same switch on lights sensor. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get the point right. So we've got the turn on these lights. Again, drop down to the bottom part where it's the suggestion. And when things start to happen. And again, I need to set that motion sensor to be done. And this time, start time, probably any time from 6 o'clock I'll be up in the morning. And it's automatically going to turn on at 6:30, suggested earlier on. So I can set the end time to be around about the 6:30 mark, or 6:29 probably, because it's automatically going to turn on at 6:30. Done. We choose done again. Now if we actually have a look at these two now and just check. Let's scroll down to the bottom, you'll notice it now says at 11 PM or when things start happening. I could also do this when the door's open, so I could use the door sensor to trigger the light to turn on and to turn for a certain period of time. So that's the bit we're going to do after this and make this a completely smart home, hopefully. Okay, so we've got the last piece of the jigsaw now is I want to be able to sort these lights out to be triggered when I've left the house, to turn the lights off to make sure they get turned off when I've left the house, but also to turn on when I come back into the house and I arrive back home. Now, obviously I could use the presence sensor for both of those, but if I've actually left the house and one of my children comes home, obviously want the light to be able to turn on and off anyway as well. So what we do is we have a look at the switch on light procedure, and we still want all the other things in case, but also I'm going to be setting an additional thing, and this time I want it when something open or closes, and which is the door sensor to open, done, and certain times of the week, that's fine, so that's done. And I'm completely finished, and then I want to switch off the lights. And this time we're going to do it in terms of presence, so I'm going to come down to automatically switch off the lights, and again when someone arrives or someone leaves I'm going to go for when everyone leaves, so I just need to check which ones, and I'm going to suggest it's when I've gone, and perhaps I'll give my daughter the smart sense presence or my wife the smart sense presence, choose that one, so when both those articles have left the house it'll turn off the lights, but again we can set a delay on that just to make sure that it won't actually happen straight away. So just by choosing this button here I can set the time. I could perhaps set it to be 1 minute and say done. Done. So now we've got a completely smart light, just one socket, okay, being controlled, that's going to turn itself on and off when I get up in the morning, when I go to bed at night time. It's also going to automatically do that if for any reason I've changed those times, and it will also turn itself off when I've left the house and turn itself when I get back in, it'll turn itself back on again, just with one switch. Now obviously you could connect all sorts of things to those switch, so other ideas are people suggesting you can put your kettle on, switch as you get up in the morning, you could just trigger one of these smart routines to make your cup of tea. Again, you could put a sensor in your bedroom or in the hallway or landing, as soon as you walk past it will trigger that switch to turn on your kettle. It could even be that you've got sort of lights around the house that you want triggering when people walk in and out of different rooms, just to automatically put the light on. So again, motion sensing rooms could turn the light on. There's also specialist smart lighting you can buy that fits your normal sockets, and again they can dim and have different light level settings. All those things can be activated by different sensors or by different people in the room. So really is quite a clever system, and the minute you've written the program or written the routine, saved it, it's done and it's downloaded to your little white box, and that's it, it's up and running. So fantastic piece of kit in my opinion, and easily programmable and quite easy to do. Just got to remember what you programmed. I come down the stairs now, check my motion sensor, and you'll see my lights are coming down the bottom of the stairs. There now, it comes to night time, going to bed, the in the corner, detected me, top of the stairs.